All right, for the first time in a while, we're back. The RD News Now team: Sheldon Spackman, Josh Hall, and Troy Giller. It's been a while since we've done this, so we need a little refresher. Here to look back at some of the bigger local news stories from the past few days. Sheldon, a court case today wrapped up in Red Deer 12 years after an Eckville drug dealer was murdered in his RV. The final man charged in that case resolved his case today.
Yes, Shane Galka, Troy, was sentenced to 2 years in Red Deer Court of Queen's Bench Court on Friday morning, 2 years in jail. He was given credit for time already served, however, pretrial credit, so he has 274 days left to serve in his sentence, which equates to just over 9 months behind bars. Galka pleaded guilty earlier this week to accessory after the fact to murder. He was charged in the death of Bradley Weber, who was shot to death in his RV near Eckville in October of 2006. 2 Calgary Street Gang members actually carried out the shooting, but Galka provided the getaway vehicle for them, and that was his involvement in the case. And now, 12 years later, the case is closed.
For sure. It's been a long, noteworthy case for a lot of people in central Alberta, and you can read more all about it at rdnewsnow.com. Josh, a familiar face around these parts, is stepping away next year as the president and CEO for Red Deer College is going to be retiring.
Yeah, Joel Ward will be retiring, like you say, 2019. He's been around for almost a decade, and he'll be moving to Victoria in retirement, he says. But we talked to him yesterday, and he says his number one memory of his entire tenure at RDC is when Premier Rachel Notley was at RDC not too long ago announcing that Red Deer College would soon become a university. But he's still got a few things on his to-do list, and he'll be taking a couple of those things up with the city in the coming years. So you can read more about his retirement over at rdnewsnow.com.
For sure. A lot of big changes at RDC during Joel's time in charge. Most recently, the opening of the Harris Center. Plenty of other great things as well. I think we can all agree that our favorite story from this past week took place last weekend at the EG car auction at the Westerner, when the Carey-Luke family brought a classic car to be auctioned off to raise money for the 2 young kids who had their parents tragically killed in the motorcycle crash this year. And the car sold not once, not twice, but 3 times, and then got donated back to the family. It's a story that's made national news, and it's always nice to be able to talk about heartwarming things like that when everything else is going on.
The number one thing I hear about Red Deer, and I'm not exaggerating this, everybody says Central Alberta is so generous. I hear it almost weekly, and it's true. It's so true, and it rings true through this story.
For sure. Great stuff. And Josh, you'll be at the rink this weekend as the Red Deer Rebels wrap up their preseason. Tonight they're in St. Albert to take on the Oil Kings. Tomorrow night at home, we'll have the broadcast on the 106.7 The Drive. Rebels wrap up their preseason against Medicine Hat.
6:30 p.m. Be there or be square.
Puck drop is at 7. Josh, Sheldon, thanks for this. For more on these stories and others, visit rdnewsnow.com.